Go live at 11:05. Here we are, and it's Larry's car. Pretty exciting. Larry's car. I'm BC. This is Spirit Cars. Josh, the voice of Spirit Cars, behind the camera there. And I think we're going to get back to some tech stuff today. We haven't been all that consistent. We've been on and off, and a lot of stuff going on around here. Would you say we're blessed?
We are blessed.
We are blessed. We got lots of work. We do what we like to do. I'm almost afraid if we got this out in too big a way, we'd have more work than we could possibly get done. Not that we don't appreciate everybody, and we're not saying don't give us a call and give us a shot if you're looking to build a car. We do a lot of Model A's. We do 32. We do a 34. We do custom work. We do T-buckets, C-cabs, 27s, 23s, all kinds of stuff. Kits, turnkeys, parts and pieces. This one here is Larry's car, and he built the chassis himself and got it, but assembled it, and we got the chassis. We built the body, and he had these fenders and put the motor in. It's a steel grill shell, but other than that, it's all a fiberglass car. So what Larry wanted a hood top. So I'm just going to kind of show you. I don't know if this would be proprietary, but I figured out quite a long time ago. This is a way to do a hood that I really like. Comes off, and before I show you how I did it in the back, I like to just do a lot of my engineering with the cardboard. I know you're a good CAD drawer there, Josh, but I'm not so good at CAD. But I can do some cardboard work. So what I did, I made, and you can see here these holes. There's a hole here and here. And then we haven't cleaned it up on the grill shell yet, but you can see I welded a piece of 3/8 steel here and here on the steel grill shell, drilled and tapped, 1/4 20, and then behind our firewall on here there's a 3/8 steel plate, so I drilled and tapped, so that's a 1/4 20 hole in that. So what I did, I took a piece of cardboard and I went and I made this shape, mocked it off, got it, and I cut a piece of fiberglass, this shape here. Drilled some holes and bolted it onto the firewall. And I did the same on the front here. I took a piece of cardboard, come around, put it on here, bolted it to that. So what I had was two pieces of fiberglass sitting on both sides, front and back. And a lot of times too, when you're, and you can see there's the mounts here for the reinforcement. There's a couple arms that'll come across here and go there to reinforce your radiator and your grill shell all together. The grill shell bolts to the radiator. Well, we had a 32 hood, and this is actually a Model A that goes to a 32. So we've created this hood some time ago. We have a mold for this. So the front opening here is for a 32 grill shell, and the back here would be for a 30-31 Model A. So what I did, I put it on, taped it down, fitted it all real nice. You can see once it's bolted in, it's a pretty good seam. And what I'll do next, well, let's go to how we got here. So everything is fitting. Got my gap pretty good, although I want it a little closer. I want to trim it out, or at least have some room to trim it out once I get it all bolted together. Got it on, I taped everything good. Had the bottom of this sanded. Had the back side of those fiberglass pieces that I bolted on sanded. And I took some bonding material that we have, and I just mixed it up like Bondo. You used a catalyst, different kind of catalyst, but it's a little bit thicker consistency than Bondo, and just take my finger and I spread along the seam underneath here. Leave it overnight, dries hard. I've got that shape. Now my hood, before I had them reinforcement ribs on here, I was able to flex that hood pretty good. Now there is no flex in the hood, and the best thing is, when I bolt it on, you can see it, we're not finished yet. I've taken a fiberglass this area on. You can see fiberglass the back of this on. I'll take and grind this front seam really nice. Grind it nice here. So you can see my 4 holes here. I've got 4 bolt holes. And what I'll do is I'll get a nice Allen head, stainless Allen head bolt, 1/4 20. And when you set it on there, it fits perfectly. There's no flex up and down in the hood. The sides can't bow in and out. And I can do a little finish work on this edge to make sure it's exactly like I want it. I'll put a little bit of felt here. That way when it sits up against your firewall, you're not scratching it. And if you do want to run your car without a hood that way, you can just take your nice little button head Allen bolt, stainless, put it back into there, and you won't even see that hole, and it'll look a little bolt, and nobody will know the difference of why that's there. So, some of the tricks, that's how we make our fiberglass hood. It secures the radiator shell, it goes on, it doesn't flex, it strengthens everything up. And again, I'm not going to say it's proprietary, but I hadn't seen it done until we did it, and I've done it a couple different ways over the years, whether it be with some certs to hold it on, or I've done it hinged, and I mean there's a lot of different ways to do it, but I found that this works, it works really well. Keeps your hood lines the same, keeps the flex out of the hood as you're bouncing down the road, keeps everything tight, keeps your grill shell tight, keeps the back tight. So here's, if you're going to do a hood, good way to do it. And again, just FYI, if you're doing a strange combination of whether it be a 32 to a, say a 34 grill shell or something like that, you can always pie shape the hood, bring it together, glass it back together, you know, make sure your rounds are good. Obviously we try to make, if we're going to do that, we'll make it a plug and then build a mold off of it and then build a part. That way you don't have a piece that's all kind of cobbled together underneath. But there's your hood, Larry. Hope you like it. I'm sure you'll be in touch with Josh. Let's go to the back. There's a little bit we're doing back here. Now when I say this is a 3031 Model A, this is our version of a 3031 Model A. These fenders, I don't know if they're an exact copy, they're not ours, but of a 3031, or if they're not, they fit, we got them fitting good, it's close. But I had made this rear panel quite some time ago. Originally the first time we used it was on a sedan, a Model A sedan. So it's close, it fits, kinda. So I like fiberglass. Actually, I'm an old body man. Been around a long time. I'm from Chicago, and we've done restorations for a long time. So I'm very familiar with metalwork. Did metalwork for years. I come back from the day when there was not a MIG in the shop. There surely wasn't a MIG in everybody's garage like it is now, or even nowadays. It's not unusual to see plas cutters and everything else in somebody's garage, but we did a lot of brazing, and we did a lot of metal shaping, we did a lot of patch panels, and I mean, that was kind of the way you put a new quarter panel on, you brazed it, where that would be a major no-no nowadays. So I know how to work in metal, but I've become accustomed over the years to doing a lot of fiberglass, and I really, different style, different technique, but you can really accomplish a lot of stuff with doing fiberglass. Anyway, I got this fitted up here, but you can see it didn't fit the fender. I mean, the fender just was in the way. I had to cut part of the fender off, so I just whacked it off. Same over here, whacked it off, and it's got to blend nice. So first thing was I need to get this fitting. So I put some bolts in here. Let me take this off real quick. So I've got this panel, it's got a nice flange on top, and really I have a flange on the side. So now if it's a metal car, I'd be welding and shaping this right here. But I don't really like the way that it kind of blends into that. It needs to blend into it sort of like that, but not like that. So what I'm going to do, I'll take some 2-inch tape and put over all this edge, right here, and put some wax on it. Bolt this back up into shape where it goes. And then I'll get the back side of this fender, I'll grind it. And then what I'll do, I'll go ahead and roll some fiberglass around so the fiberglass will come along this flange. So that way, when I actually get done and I'm ready, then I get everything fitted and I get the shape down here where I want. I'm probably going to take it out a little bit and recurve it up around so it looks like it blends into it rather than under it. Once I get all that, I'll have my holes here so I can just bolt it up. I'll have a couple holes here so I can bolt it to the fenders, and everything will be pre-fit before I paint it. One of the things I highly recommend on our 23s and 27s, we do not, I can't think of the last time we pre-assembled one and took it apart to paint it. We just don't do that. The parts fit, it goes together, we paint the frame, we put the frame together, we put the motor in, we paint the body, we set it on, get it done, there it is. On a Model A, on a 32, on a 34, on a lot of the bigger cars that we do, even though this is definitely not the first one we've done, I always pre-assemble the car. So if you're doing it at home, it doesn't take that long to pre-assemble even your 23 or your 27, especially if it's your first time doing one. Pre-assemble everything, make sure it fits, make sure you got all the holes where you need them, and everything's looking good, take it apart, and then go ahead and paint. Now on this one, I want to make sure. I want to make sure I got good lines here. I want to make sure everything's good here. I want to make sure my bolt holes line up. I want to make sure my body is going to fit on the firewall or on the splash aprons just the way I want it. I'm a little loose here, so I want to make sure this is all bolted in and tight. All my door gaps are good. I want this car to look like the way it's going to look before I take it apart, and it's pretty close to that now. Once I do, we'll take it apart, flip it over, paint the floor, paint the running boards, paint the whole thing disassembled, and then go ahead and assemble it back. So we're getting there. This one is close to having final assembly, and we're going to start painting. We got a two-tone paint, some really cool paint. So we're going to paint fenders and running boards one color. We're going to paint the top another color. I don't remember. I'll need to talk to Larry, but are we going to do a stripe in here?
I don't remember.
We may. I don't know if we're going to do a stripe on the body lines or not. That we can talk about that as we get closer to that. But we got some door panels on here. I don't know if Larry's seen the door panels or not. These were just. Well, I don't want to touch it. I'm all dirty, but this is a nice. Eddie makes it. It's kind of out of a plastic material, and it just snaps in, and the whole door panel will just snap in. So a nice looking door panel. A little different here too on this one. As you can see, it's a suicide door. You don't see that very often on a 3031 on a Model A of any Model A. But little notch. You have a lock here. This has power door lock or power actuators to undo it. So here it is, fiberglass. I love it. I've come to use it awful lot and like it. So we can create with it, or if you got metal, I can do some welding. It's whatever you like. Both are a quality product. I think I got my book around here somewhere. There we go. I don't know if we're going live tomorrow or not, but just in case we don't, happy Thanksgiving. We're blessed in the good times. We're blessed in the bad times. Every day is a new day. It's going to have new opportunities and new excitement. Today's big day. Josh's daughter, Sophia. Hello, Sophia. If you watch this, you might see it. She stayed at our house last night. But it's her birthday today. We having a birthday at your house?
Yes.
We're having a birthday at your house tonight, and then we're going to have another birthday party Saturday.
Yes.
Oh, my other granddaughter, Meredith, and Jesse's probably watching, she had a month-long birthday. I don't know, she must have had 20 parties, I think, during the whole month, but poor Sophia only gets 2. And so Thanksgiving's coming up Thursday. I'm thinking we're going to feed the masses. I keep finding out more and more. I wouldn't be surprised we get 50 people plus kids by the time we're done. My brother's coming down. I'm pretty excited. So if I don't get to see you tomorrow, happy Thanksgiving, and we'll get something put up. If not, we might get to the other Larry's car tomorrow. We may show you There's projects everywhere here, so we'll show you something. So we'll finish up with the Hot Rod Man and one of his quotes. If matter were energy, why would we want to waste energy on things that don't matter? I like that one. Good job, Hot Rod Man. So don't waste your energy on things that don't matter. Hot rods are cool. I put a lot of energy into them, but there are things that matter a lot more than that. We can have friendships and develop relationships and have a car too. That's what happens a lot of time with our cars. But as this Thanksgiving comes up, time for gathering with friends and family. Have a good Thanksgiving. Have a good weekend.